You've got to shoot this bit, Margaret. You've got to shoot it.
Hello, listeners, and welcome back to the Whiteout Podcast, is your go-to guide for all things skiing. I'm Dom of In the Snow magazine, and today we're doing the Skiing 101 in association with Crystal Ski Holidays.
Yeah, and I'm Rob. I'm sure you know us by now, listeners. But, if you missed the first episode of our Skiing 101 series in association with Crystal Ski Holidays, be sure to catch up, because we're diving in even deeper today into a crucial part of your first ski adventure.
Yeah, absolutely, Rob. It's going to be a good one. In the last episode, we covered things like understanding the needs of the people going, thinking about kids and adults alike, the budget, resort options, travel options, essential packing list, and what you can do before going skiing to guarantee you get off to a great start.
So in this episode, we're delving into choosing the right resort and what accommodation might work best. It's a really big decision, especially if it's your first time on the slopes, and we're here to break it all down for you.
Yeah, you might be looking for an idyllic village vibe or vibrant après ski, or maybe the most beginner-friendly slopes. We've got tips for you to help you pick the perfect destination. Plus, we'll talk about the different types of accommodation in resorts that'll make your trip as comfortable as possible, no matter your budget or style, Rob. What's your style, Rob?
I don't have any style, Dom.
Of course you have style. You don't even know it.
Well, that's the best style to have, isn't it?
A nonchalant style.
That's it.
Right, let's get straight into it. First up, we're talking about babies and toddlers, talking about skiing with those little ones who are probably under the age of actual skiing. It can be a superb experience for them with the right planning. Yeah. I know I took my kids from 20 months old. We were going to ski resorts. I remember going to, I think my first resort with the children was probably Val d'Isère and Zermatt, where they were being pushed around in prams and we were chucking them on sledges and keeping them warm. But a great experience for them straight off.
Yeah, and why not? And my daughter first went to ski resort at 4, so she was, a bit past it at that stage compared to yours. Yes. and skied a little bit at 4 years old, but also did tons of other things as well. There's no reason why you can't start introducing kids to the mountains early, before they can ski. Below the age of 4, they can enjoy the snow, play in the snow. There's loads of other activities as well. Hot chocolate breaks. Who doesn't like one of those?
I still love a hot chocolate break. And of course, there's various childcare options available, like Crystal's Childcare's Pepi Penguin Nursery, which caters for children aged 6 months to 3 or 4 years, hotel, kids clubs, or even bringing along a family member for support.
Yeah, and there's resorts with family-friendly facilities. Shorter transfer times, that's quite a key thing if you've got kids. And off-slope activities like swimming pools, kids clubs, cafes, all those kind of things that are ideal for young kids, basically. It's sort of things kids love to do when they're on holiday, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's turning it into that full experience and giving them a really positive first experience. I mean, that was one thing that we really focused on. We were thinking, look, these kids have got to love skiing or otherwise they're going to have to go back where they came from. And I think it's vital to be thinking, let's give them a great experience rather than worry about just getting them skiing as quickly as possible. It's a case of them enjoying the snow, enjoying the environment, having a great time. So the next time you say, we're going to go on a ski holiday, they get excited about it rather than think, oh no, I hated that last time. You were forcing me to do X, Y, or Z.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I've always been completely obsessed with skiing, but you have to realize that maybe not everybody is. And for me, when my daughter went, you know what, I've had enough of the snow now. I want to go inside and check out that swimming pool or go to the kids clubs. It's their holiday as well as our holiday, right? So there's so much to do.
Yeah, and thinking about the preparation, packing appropriate snow clothes so they're nice and warm, because obviously you don't want them to get freezing cold. You don't necessarily need ski gear at that age. It's just having good warm clothing, one-piece suits that they get zipped up in and looking great. Thinking about your accommodation and separate sleeping areas, easy access to slopes. Resorts like Sälen in Sweden and Flaine in France and Zell in Austria are great choices for families offering childcare services and family-friendly amenities. So just going to do a quick rundown on those resorts and a quick intro to them. Sälen in Sweden offers a mix of well-maintained slopes and modern facilities, perfect for first-time skiers and families with young children, with shorter transfer times and plenty of off-slope activities. It's an ideal choice for a relaxed ski holiday. Really nice there in Sweden.
It is a nice place, and like you say, very short transfer time. Let's look at Flaine in France. It's a really snowshore resort. It's got this really large ski area, very varied ski area as well, suitable for all levels of skiers and snowboarders. It's a really good pick for families, Flaine. You've got very easy access into the Grand Massif ski area, one of France's largest ski areas, but you've also got all the childcare services like, that Crystal offer. Very laid back atmosphere, Lots of kids there. It's a really family-friendly resort, Flaine, and I like the architecture. I'm just going to say I really love it. It's got really interesting artwork that they've really thought about and things that are great for kids. It's all very well set up.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the other one, Zell in Austria, or Zell am See, some people say, offering scenic runs and a charming alpine town. Very beautiful. It's a very popular resort for Brits to go skiing in. Zell am See caters to beginners and more advanced skiers. It's a combination of fabulous views, family-friendly amenities, après ski options make it real great all-rounder, and hence why it's so popular. So, yeah, you're going to get a good holiday if you go to Zell am See.
Yeah, definitely. Don't forget to consider sort of other factors as well, like the altitude, the timing of your trip. Do you want that kind of proper winter experience with all its plus points, all the snow, or maybe you want to go later in the springtime, which might not be as wintry and snowy, but you've got a bit more light. It's probably a bit sunnier, generally speaking. So planning ahead and making the holiday family-centered, that's got to be the priority of any holiday, right? What I mean by that is don't focus necessarily just on the skiing. Everything else is going to be a fun experience, and it will definitely guarantee a better first ski holiday.
Yeah, absolutely. Thinking about that time of year is vital. If you've got really little ones that aren't in school, obviously, is what we're talking about here. And that's the fact that you don't have to go during half term. You tend to find that between New Year and half term can be a quieter time in some resorts. If you want the sunnier time where it's a little bit warmer and you get to sit around in the sun a bit more, then going around that sort of March, April time, you can often get good snow conditions then as well. But obviously you get the sunnier slopes, so that's really nice as well. So I can remember taking mine when they were really super little. And we got some top tips for taking those under 4-year-olds, haven't we?
Yeah, no, I do remember it very well. And one of the other tips I would say is just make it fun and relaxed. If it's only skiing for 1 hour a day with a child of the age of 4, then that's brilliant. For them, that's a big deal. Just have a fun time. Skiing with your kids is the most fun, maybe after skiing powder snow all day. But after that, skiing with the kids is brilliant fun.
Yeah.
So I think we've got some top tips here from people in the Crystal office, Dom.
That's right, we have. So Hannah talks about using nap times wisely. Young children get super tired easily in the mountain air. Take advantage of those nap times to relax, whether it's enjoying a spa or reading by the fire and just generally enjoying some low-key après. So that's quite a nice idea, actually, when they're having that sleep time.
Yeah, and Sarah, going back to what we've just said, but choose your timing carefully, says Sarah. Spring trips in March or April are generally more comfortable for the little ones than colder trips during January.
Yeah,
so it's true. Point.
Yeah. And consider taking a sledge, or there's usually sledges kicking around in accommodation, or you can easily buy them very cheaply in resort. If there's snow, renting it or buying a sledge can really help carry things around, chuck the little ones in the sledge, pack stuff around them so they're sitting up. You see that a lot in resort, don't you? Little kiddies being pulled around in sledges, really nice.
That is a great tip. Just have a sledge and chuck everything on it, including the kids, and pull them around the town. And Kate says, focus on fun. We agree with Kate here. Kids will just love playing in the snow. They love tobogganing, having a snowball fight. Make sure their first ski trips are fun, right? They associate the holiday with enjoyment then.
Yeah, exactly. It's just making sure they come away with that positive experience.
Yeah.
So the next time you decide you want to go, especially if you're a family of skiers that goes every year, you want them to have a great time. So yeah, definitely less focus on getting them skiing and more focus on making sure they come away with a great feeling of the holiday. So the next time you say ski holiday, they associate that with having a good time.
Just going back to Sarah's tip about choosing your timing, this is something that a lot of people that haven't been skiing before do not realise, but there's many ski resorts out there that Crystal will have accommodation in and can put a package together for in April. And April, normally the Easter month, you can go skiing. You've got to choose your resort, but it can be a really nice time to go, especially with young kids. You've got the light. It's generally a little bit warmer.
Yeah, good point.
Okay.
So that's good stuff. So next up, we're talking about mixed ability groups. So although we're talking about absolute beginner skiing, there is sometimes somebody who you earmark as being somebody who's going to be the real fast tracker, or maybe somebody who has been before. So we're thinking about resort suggestions for those people. It's a pretty common situation, but with total beginners, maybe a few intermediates and possibly an advanced skier in there. And let's be honest, we all know someone who's going to be a pro in no time, don't we? It's probably you in your day, Rob.
Well, I did my best, Dom. But it is a really good point. And when you're booking for a mixed group, there's some key tips to keep in mind. right? So the first thing, and people ask me a lot, have you got any tips of where I should go skiing? I mean, the first question I've got for them is how many are going and what is your budget? Kind of roughly. It's going to help narrow down those options, really. And the other thing is book early. You book early so you get the choice that you want. And you can secure things like, the accommodation you want, your ski passes, your ski equipment. I know we talk about this a lot, but it is actually true. The early bird really does catch the worm when you're talking about choice of where you want to stay. You want to choose a resort that offers something for that whole group. You need options for beginners, intermediates, and advanced skiers. And there may be, some great après ski spots as well to keep everyone happy after the slopes.
Yeah, I mean, après can come in many different forms, can it?
Yeah.
It could be a hot chocolate by the fire. It could be dancing on a table with your ski boots on.
Right.
So what exactly makes a resort ideal for mixed ability groups? You want to think about a resort that offers a mix of ski terrain to suit all levels.
Yeah.
Convenient access to the lifts is pretty cool too, because it just means you're not lugging your skis around and walking too far, so no one's wasting time hiking up and waiting too long. Meeting points for the groups, really nice, we'll all meet at the clock tower at 1 o'clock for lunch or whatever it might be. And don't forget the fun stuff on the slope, like we talked about, the great après ski options. Activities like tubing or snowshoeing can keep everyone entertained during those times when you're not skiing. And accommodation is another key thing to think about, which we'll delve into later. Something flexible like self-catering apartments or half-board hotels can work great for groups if they've got different preferences.
Yeah, definitely. Totally agree with that, Dom. Let's get to some of those resort recommendations, shall we, for this? I mean, I'm going to mention Sälen in Austria. It's a really good option for mixed ability groups because it's a really large ski area. There's a great variety of ski runs, all different levels there as well, but loads of intermediate cruising red run terrain, blue and red runs. There's tons of that. There's also snow parks, more advanced or freestyle skiers, or maybe just younger skiers. Yeah. And the town's got a really lively après ski scene as well, sort of proper Austrian, just off the slopes, music pumping, dancing on tables, very lively. Sälen and Hinterglemm, they've got it all when it comes to the après. So it has got something for everyone.
Really nice choice, Rob. Another one I thought was Tignes in France. It's part of the massive Espace Killy ski area. I don't think they call themselves that anymore, but it's shared with Val d'Isère. Tons of terrain to choose from, whether you're a beginner or someone who's going to get on more quickly. It has got a really nice variety of those sort of nursery slopes, green runs, early blues, faster blues. So it's really, really nice, progressive sort of slopes there. Yeah. There's going to be a run for everyone there. And after a day on the slopes, you can enjoy some really nice après there as well.
Yeah, I do agree. And it's a particularly good resort for both early season and late season ski holidays as well. Something that's really lively, but also great value for groups, right? Bit different. Check out Pas de la Casa in Andorra. It's got great access to very varied skiing terrain in the huge Gran Valera area. Known for its fun après ski scene as well. It is a lively old place, Pas de la Casa, just off the slopes and later at night. If you want to party, it's a good option for that. Yep. But it is really budget friendly compared to some of these other big resorts as well, because it is a big ski area.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was talking to a friend of mine who hasn't been skiing before, taking his family, 2 adults, 2 children. And actually he came to me and said, look, I've eyeballed this place. It looks budget friendly. Looks like there's a bit going on. We want something fun. And it's quite known for its sunny slopes. So they came to me with that option and said, what do you think? And I said, absolutely. That really does tick a lot of the boxes. So it's a really good, solid option. And another one is Outdoors, where I was just prior to Christmas. Particularly good for beginners. There's a lot of wide, easy runs for new skiers. But there's also some more challenging slopes if you do progress, because people will progress quickly, especially if somebody takes our advice and goes to one of their indoor snow centres before they go skiing and they do maybe a learn to ski in a day. I remember my very first ski holiday was in Morzine. By the end of those few days, I skied around a lot of the blues and the red runs within 2 or 3 days. It is amazing how quickly people can progress. So it's worthwhile thinking about resorts that have got lots of options like that. There's other great things in Outdoors. I mean, there's some nice restaurants there, especially if you go at the right time. You might not get such crowded slopes, quite quiet if you go at the right time. And if you want a break from skiing, they've got a big ice skating area, they've got tobogganing. There's plenty for everybody there as well. So that's a nice option.
Yeah, I agree on that. When I'm asked about mixed groups going skiing, it is a resort that I often recommend because of what you have highlighted. I've worked in outdoors many years ago, and that sort of progression from beginners to intermediate on the slopes and the wide slopes at the bottom, it does make it a really good resort for beginners as well. And of course, a lot of south-facing slopes. It's nice and sunny.
Yeah, sunny resort.
Last on this list, but definitely not least, is Zell in Austria. Very scenic runs, really nice beginners resort. Advanced skiers won't get bored there either. There's plenty of variety. The town itself's got loads of après ski options again, very Austrian après scene. Plenty to do off the slopes as well. So, it's one of those resorts, very popular with beginners, very popular with intermediate skiers as well. So good for those mixed groups. Very pretty, obviously by the lake and all of that sort of stuff. Wooded runs. It's a lovely little spot.
Zell coming out quite well here, because we've talked about it being pretty good for the little babies and now pretty good for people who just want that varied terrain. And it's definitely a popular place, isn't it? Yeah. Plenty of Brits go skiing in Zell and go back year after year.
That's true.
Good stuff, Rob. So that's great for mixed abilities groups. And we've talked about some of the things you need to think about when you're taking babies and toddlers. And we've sort of name-checked a couple of resorts there as well. Now we're going to talk about a few real family-friendly resorts with childcare services from Crystal and also great beginner slopes. So resorts like La Plaine in France, Flaine in France, and Passo Tonali in Italy, they offer great childcare services, which Crystal can organise for you. Plus, they're known for being fantastic for families and beginners as well.
Yeah, right. So let's start with one of those resorts, Dom. Let's start with La Plaine. It's a really popular skiing area, and it's part of the huge Paradis ski region that links up with Les Arcs. And offers over 200 kilometers of skiing terrain for all levels of skiers, from beginners to experts. You've got those tree line runs, you've got these wide open slopes, you've got snow parks. It is really good for families and groups. And it's got a lively après-ski scene as well. And it's very, very snowshore. If you're looking for, again, for childcare services as well that Crystal provide, La Plaine is one of the resorts that you can look at.
Yep, super popular resort. People go back year on year. I know a family that goes back there and have been going back there every year for about the last 10 years. You can't fault the place. It really is geared up for those families, isn't it?
Yeah,
definitely.
The other
one, as we talked about earlier, is Flaine, where you talked about there. This is a more purpose-built resort, so you don't quite get that sort of chocolate box feel about it. Yep. It's in the Grand Massif area, as we talked about earlier. It offers 265 kilometres of skiable terrain. If you're an early-stage beginner, you're going to work hard to get around that one. But at least, again, as we talked about, how some people will progress quickly and will want to get off and ski more areas. And obviously, the more terrain there is, the more options there are for a slope for everybody. Somebody who wants one just a little bit faster than a green, but not as fast as a fast blue. And that they will have those options. Perfect for those mixed ability groups. Great selection of runs for beginners and intermediates. And there's some more challenging slopes if you do manage to push on. It's got great snow reliability. And as you said earlier, it's known for its art and architecture.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
Really nice.
Yeah, we're talking about family-friendly resorts that have specific childcare services. Maybe one that's slightly, not so well known, let's say, is Passo Tonali in Italy.
Yeah.
And the Italian Alps, of course. It's a great choice for families and beginners as well. There's loads of easy slopes. It is a very snowshore place as well. It's quite high. It can offer more challenging terrain for intermediates and experts as well. There's some glacier skiing there. They do get summer skiing up in Passo Tonali, and the ski races go up there in the summer to train. It's kind of chilled out, very Italian in that way, very relaxed, good value for money. It's not a particularly expensive ski resort, and it's got amazing mountain scenery as well. So Crystal Childcare is available at those resorts. They're really good for those first-time family ski trips. Whether you're looking for family-friendly resort with beginner slopes or you need childcare when you're there as well, these resorts have got you covered.
Yep, and there's plenty of others besides. And obviously you're going to find these on the Crystal website, so you can go and take a look. But we're just trying to give you an idea of some buzzwords, the names of these resorts. If you've never been skiing before, it's something for you to jot down and think they sounded good. When I go to the Crystal website, let's just start by looking at these resorts and see what they're like. But other names you might want to look at, the likes of La Tuile in Italy, really nice, that Italian feel. I love that whole Italian skiing, and Sestriere as well, really nice. I love that whole €1.5 coffees and beautiful pizzas and the lovely pasta. Really suits young kids as well. So I really like those sort of places. Any others on your radar, Rob?
Well, I'm going to mention Soldeo because we mentioned Pasta La Casa earlier, but Soldeo is another resort in Andorra connected in the same ski area, the Gran Villaria ski area, to Pasta La Casa. It doesn't quite have the après ski scene of Pasta La Casa. It's a little bit more mellow, but Soldeo, sorry, pronounce it correctly, is a great ski resort for families and beginners. Ruka in Finland. And it obviously, completely different direction. We're going north now and not south to the Pyrenees.
And interesting that, because you're not going to speak to, and I know this is on some people's radar. They don't want to be going where everyone else is going. They don't want to be saying they're going to Flaine or Teen or Le Plan, where a lot of other people will go. They want to be going somewhere a little bit different. And Ruka definitely ticks that box.
I get really good feedback from people that are learning to ski or with their families from Finnish ski resorts. And again, we talked about timing of that. I mean, clearly, if you go to Finland in December, you can do all that Christmas stuff, the Father Christmassy things. Yeah. It is going to be quite dark, but they're brilliant at darkness in Finland. They switch all the lights on, the ski runs are floodlit, and it's got that magical sort of winter wonderland feel to it. But if you go in March to Ruka, you're going to get a lot of light, and it's a completely different experience, but it will hold on to the snow really well there. It's going to be great snow conditions all the way through the season, and the season runs all the way to April.
Going to be chilly. Well, and then you've got Stoten in Sweden. I don't know Stoten. I've been to Aura in Sweden, but not Stoten. So that's another option. I don't know where they've done.
I haven't been to Stoten or Stotten in Sweden, but I've heard about Stotten, and it's a very nice family-orientated ski resort, which would be good for beginners and families, especially with young kids.
And Borovets in Bulgaria as well. If you're thinking about budget and you want somewhere that's a little bit lower on the cost side, then looking at Borovets in Bulgaria, also very geared up for families as well. So, all those resorts have great sort of mix of beginner slopes, family-friendly vibes, great childcare options. Crystal can organise a lot of that for you. You're going to get a good experience, both parents and kids, and that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Absolutely. You mentioned Borovets. I've got a friend of mine who takes his family to Borovets every single year and has been going for 20 years now. He absolutely loves it. But you get to know a place, don't you? But he loves it. And I know other people that do. And it's brilliant. It's genuinely good value for money. There's no doubt about that.
Good. Well, next up, Rob, is something that's very close to our hearts, and that is the après scene. Now, I guess people who haven't skied before might think après is just about dancing on a table and going a little bit wild, and it doesn't have to be that, or it can be that. Après can be anything you want it to be. Some resorts just have more après going on than others. Some are a little bit quiet, and you can just sit around in a bar and have a glass of hot wine, or vin chaud, as we all know it, next to a little open fire. And some resorts, it'll be banging music into the night and dancing on tables in your ski boots. And obviously, people with young children are probably still at that stage of just we're halfway between being a family and halfway between dancing on a table. So there are definitely resorts that we can talk about that will give you a little bit of both, even when you've got those young children. I remember going to the Folly Deuce with my children. Still, I wasn't skiing. I came up with a funicular. But what do you think?
Oh, yeah. If we're talking, why, as a beginner, would you not want to enjoy the après ski as well? I mean, if you're going to ski the next day, I would seriously advise you not to be going to bed at 4 a.m. But there's no harm in enjoying a bit of après ski. And when we talk about après ski, we're talking about coming off the slopes, enjoying the atmosphere, and having a couple of drinks is part of the whole experience, or maybe just sipping that hot chocolate, but just enjoying the atmosphere. And then in ski resorts generally, right, there's the après ski sessions, which does mean literally off the slopes, a bit of a party, a great time. Most people go back to their accommodation. They go back to the hotel or their apartment, and they'll have some dinner, some food. For the energetic ones, they might decide to go out again after that. And a lot of ski resorts carry on late at night as well. From experience of working many years with people that were on their first skiing holiday, their first skiing experience, they might enjoy a little bit of the after skiing activities. But after dinner, let's just say that the vast majority of people were just ready for a nice relaxing evening and bed, basically. But there are different atmospheres in different countries. I mean, if you're looking for very sort of lively après ski straight off the slopes, Austria is definitely one of those places to be. I do think other countries have caught up to that kind of whole après thing now. France and Switzerland, especially, they do après really well. Whereas back in the day, it may have been focused more on late night stuff. But these days, countries do it really well. St. Anton, right? It's got to be pretty much, let's say, one of the famous après ski resorts of the world. Ischgl, very close by St. Anton, is renowned for its vibrant après ski scene. You're talking Europop table dancing, atmosphere and vibe, and Jaeger tea. If you've never experienced Jaeger tea on an après ski session, well, you know what? You're in for a treat if you go to one of those places.
Yeah, definitely. Austria have definitely put their name on the map when it comes to a bit of après. And again, there are varying levels, but St. Anton and Ischgl have definitely set their stall out as being very vibrant when it comes to après. Doesn't mean you have to go there and party, but it definitely is on offer, with bars playing sort of big music, DJs in. Val Thorens has got the Folie Douce there, and on the Folie Douce is a very popular organisation that's created sort of mini nightclubs on the slopes in a few resorts. So very popular. There's one in Val Thorens, there's one between Val d'Isère and Tignes, and they stand out for their après for sure. But they've got many other bars as well. Coco Richo in Val d'Isère is particularly popular, and Dick's Tea Bar in Val d'Isère as well, particularly popular for après. But also you can sit van show while enjoying the vibe. You don't have to be going crazy. Après can be of different genres, whatever you like. What about Italy, Rob?
Well, Italy, it's kind of a bit more of a chilled experience there. These cozy bars, glass of wine, bit of charcuterie, maybe a bombardino, which is a warm drink with advocat and brandy. Nice. Yummy. Salzedo, Selva Valgardena, these kind of places, very chilled. But, you can find lively stuff going on as well.
Yeah, Selva in Val Gardena, one of my favourites as well. Just a lovely quality resort. Après scene, but you know what? You can sit in a bar, have a little drink. It's super nice.
Last time I was in Selva Valgardena, I was with a local guy who made his own liqueurs out of the pine needles from the local trees. We sat there in the bar and drank one of his bottles of pine needle liqueur.
Love it.
That was an interesting après ski experience.
Yeah, I like that. I haven't been to Selva for a little while. All of these resorts we're going to put in the notes. Don't forget, if this is bypassing you a little bit and you can't quite get the names, don't worry. These will all be in the podcast notes for you to check out. So another one, as we mentioned, Andorra. Got some great budget-friendly après ski in Pas de la Casa, which has sort of that Ibiza-like atmosphere, whilst Saldeo is more relaxed and perfect for spa lovers, as we talked about earlier. So definitely ones to put on your radar there, depending on the level of après ski you're looking for. Yeah.
We've mentioned Finland as well. I mean, if you want a big après drinking ski holiday, Finland is probably not the place for you. But if you do want to do these exciting things, get out on a snowmobile. Get out on a reindeer ride, see the Northern Lights, all that. Then Finland is great. Ruka and Sälen as well. They've got those things going on. I would also do a shout out for live music in the French Alps that is really popular now. Sort of the cover bands doing the songs that we all know and you're getting the crowd going. That is becoming a bigger thing in the French Alps and those big resorts. There's something for everyone, which is great. Yeah.
Well, there we go. I think we've done après to death. We've done enough après in our lifetime. So next up, we're going to talk about transfer times. If this is a real bugbear for you, don't worry. We've got you covered with some resorts with particularly short transfer times. And this, of course, only relates to the people who are deciding to go by plane and flying to resort and then getting a transfer. So what have we got in terms of shorter transfer time resorts, Rob?
I'm going to mention St. Johann in Tyrol in Austria. It's one example, but, that kind of very traditional, charming Austrian village, very relaxed, actually great for beginners and families as well. It's a pretty short transfer from the airport. So it's a good one.
Nice. Yeah. And Bardonecchia in Italy, there's another excellent option. It's got authentic Italian charm, quick access to the slopes, short transfer. Could be a really nice option if transfer times are your bugbear. So you might be thinking about people who don't like traveling, not keen on being in a transfer bus, maybe don't like driving too far. So these are the kind of people that, where this becomes very important to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've looked, I'm going to mention Finland and Ruka because you've got reliable snow conditions there, really close to the airport. I mean, it's a very fast transfer time over there. Finland's a big country, but fortunately, they have a lot of airports near ski areas. So it's really convenient.
And Levi in Finland, also short transfer time, known for its diverse slopes as well, Northern Lights viewing. Perfect if you're looking to get straight into the action and that nice short transfer time. So, there's some really nice options there. If you want to ski and want a super short transfer time, there's a few great options for you there.
Yeah, definitely. So one of the other things, Dom, let's have a look at some of these budget-friendly options. It doesn't mean we're going to sacrifice quality skiing experiences. So yeah, there's plenty of options out there.
So if you're looking for good value for money, Bulgaria and Andorra are great choices.
Yep.
You get that affordable skiing and cozy accommodation can be a great option.
Definitely.
So Bulgaria, you're looking at great value for money with resorts like Bansko offering affordable skiing, cozy accommodation, laid-back vibe, perfect for budget-conscious travellers looking to enjoy that winter getaway. What about Andorra, Rob? We've mentioned that a few times. It's coming out well.
For the quality of accommodation you find in Andorra as well, you get a lot for your money. We've mentioned Gran Vilara. It's the ski area that links Soldea with Pas La Casa. But you've also got Val Nord, which is a separate area. Really good value lift passes, good quality accommodation, I would say, at a very, very good value price, and really good food. I've always had a great time in Andorra, and it is a good choice for families and groups as well, looking to have a really good experience, good quality accommodation for a really good price, I would say. Yeah,
and what else? We've got other hidden gems, resorts like Latanya or Leogang. They give you access to big ski areas at a fraction of the price. Latanya's in the French Alps, offering access to the vast Trois Vallées. Perfect for those seeking a quieter, more intimate experience and world-class skiing.
Yeah.
What about Leogang?
Yeah. Oh, Leogang, yeah, it's in Austria. It's another one of those places that maybe a lot of people haven't heard of. Bit of a hidden gem. You get access to the ski circus area, which is a really large skiing area. Lots of different variety of runs there. It's not a particularly busy place and quieter skiing area. So yeah, it's a good choice, good value. It offers access to a big ski area, but it's not the big famous ski resort in that area. So you can access that without paying the big prices.
So obviously we are talking about budget friendly. There are other resorts that if budget isn't so much the issue, but you want that real chocolate box experience, you could be looking at the likes of Megève or Zermatt or Kitzbühel, Cortina. These resorts that give you that real chocolate box experience, but aren't necessarily going to give you the budget-friendly experience.
True. Yeah, true.
They've got great vibes. They've got great skiing. They are going to be a little more expensive than some of the other resorts that we've just talked about there.
Yeah, that's true. And I think generally that's right. I mean, Megève, it has got this old world charm, hasn't it? It's got the cobbled streets in the village centre, all of those stylish boutiques. They used to call it Paris in the mountains or Paris in the Alps. Good skiing area. And very sophisticated, I would say, Après ski scene. Beautiful scenery as well.
Yeah. And similarly, Zermatt, as we talked about there in Switzerland, is an iconic resort, got breathtaking views of the Matterhorn, known for its scenic charm, luxurious atmosphere, extensive ski area. It's a perfect blend of sort of natural beauty and world-class skiing. So if you're a beginner and the budget is not so important, and actually you're thinking, I'm happy to have a splurge here, but I want something that's absolutely spectacular, then Zermatt could easily hit your list.
Special place for sure. I mentioned Kitzbühel. Yeah, what's Kitzbühel famous for? The downhill race called the Hahnenkamm, which is the toughest downhill race in the world. On your first ski holiday, unless you're a genius, you will not be skiing down the Hahnenkamm.
Genius.
And I'm not, a skiing genius. You take a look at it. It's an incredible run. But, that beautiful medieval town, really lively après ski scene and varied slopes for all abilities. People always think the Hahnenkamm, it must be really, there's tons of nice, relaxed, mellow skiing there as well. It's good for beginners.
If budget isn't a problem, then thinking about Cortina, not as expensive as those other ones we mentioned, still combines picturesque scenery, stylish atmosphere, access to the Dolomite ski area, which is massive and beautiful. Yeah. Top destination for great skiing and Italian charm. Yep. So if you really do want to stick to budget, think about Bulgaria, think about Andorra, think about some of those resorts that we've mentioned, like Latanya and Leogang. Great options for you there if you want to stick to the sort of more budget-friendly places.
Yep.
Now let's talk about accommodation options for your ski trip, because ski holidays offer a big variety of places to stay. No matter your style or budget, you can go to a luxury hotel or you can go to a self-catering apartment. There is genuinely something for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's start with hotels. Ski hotels come in all shapes and sizes. You've got some nice, comfortable, basic hotel accommodation to those luxurious 5-star properties, right? Many hotels offer, obviously, restaurant facilities, bars, but then some with swimming pools. Saunas and spas are very popular now in the Alps. And of course, some have also got kids clubs there as well. So, good for the family setup.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to food, hotels often offer half-board options, meaning breakfast and dinner are included. But you can also find bed and breakfast or full board or even all-inclusive options. Some hotels even throw in packed lunches or drinks and everything. So, yeah, there's something for everybody there for sure.
Yeah. And if you really want that kind of luxury experience, you can find it in ski resorts as well. The standard of accommodation generally in the Alps is very, very high. You can look for those hotels that have gourmet dining, larger spas, so you can have a skiing holiday, but with that sort of much more kind of upscale experience these days as well.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you want a more traditional and personal vibe, you can try guest houses. They're particularly popular as well. Smaller and more affordable, place for travellers who want a cosy, more intimate experience. They're typically run by local families who know the area very well. And obviously booking through Crystal, then you want to make sure you're talking to them about those more localised type hotel vibes that you want that real authentic feeling while you're there.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you're looking for something really special, consider the Summit Collection. Crystal have the Summit Collection. They're hand-picked, top-tier hotels. They all offer amazing food, high level of service, lots of facilities, and they're all located in those kind of top, highly related, top ski resorts as well, top rated resorts.
Yeah. When we go as a family, we always quite like the extra space and the flexibility offered by self-catering apartments. We like the fact that you get a big lounge area. When we went over the Christmas period, so we went out to dinner and then we'd come back and have maybe pudding in the self-catering apartment with a big TV, and watching Christmas movies was really nice. You get the freedom to cook your own meal. So if one kid doesn't particularly want to be going out that night, or they're a bit more tired, you can stay in, just cook a quick spaghetti bolognese for them or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you can choose to dine out when you want. These apartments range from cozy little studios to big, spacious, multi-bedroom family units. We had a big 3-bedroom apartment with 2 bathrooms at the last apartment in Outdoors, and that was super nice, and it was right in the town centre. So it can be a great option for families or groups.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you don't want to cook, apartments do offer bed and breakfast or even half board sometimes. Yeah. You typically do get your bedding and towels included, of course. You might not have the same service levels as a hotel, but through the week, you make your beds up or whatever.
And if you want to go mad, you can have full-on luxury apartments where you've got the full style space, added perks like private spa or ski and scout, access to the slopes. If you want that sort of upscale experience, they've got some really nice options in the Summit Collection apartments on the Crystal website. So worth checking that out if you want to go upscale but still keep an apartment.
Yeah, I think these days you do have a brilliant choice of apartments. And if you're in France, you might consider a meal delivery service as well. And Crystal can organise that. They partner with Husky. You can pre-order meals. They're delivered right to the apartment. It could be a 2-course dinner, or it could be breakfast. It does work really well. It's designed to make the holiday run smoothly. But so you've got that sort of balance of self-catered, but you can decide how many nights you want that delivery service as well. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So for those looking for more convenience or knowing where you are with the budget, you can look at these all-inclusive ski holidays. Everything's covered from flights, transfers, accommodation, lift passes, equipment hire, lessons, the whole shebang, including often all your meals and drinks, which can save you money for après ski activities as well. So all-inclusive packages typically include buffet breakfast, packed and buffet lunches, evening meals. Sometimes you get the soft drinks and alcoholic drinks all included. So it can be a great option for those who just want to pay one fee and they know that everything's taken care of and you can focus on having a great time.
So, every type of accommodation offers something unique depending on what you're looking for in your ski holiday. If you're a first-time skier, there is literally an option to suit you, whatever you want, making a ski getaway as enjoyable as possible.
Yeah, so there we go. That's it for our episode 2 of Skiing 101 series in association with Crystal Ski Holidays here on the Whiteout Podcast. We've covered a lot of ground today, Rob, from choosing the right resort to picking the perfect accommodation.
Absolutely. We've shared tips on everything from taking toddlers and babies on a ski holiday to finding the best resorts for mixed ability groups. So whether you're planning a family trip, a group getaway, or just a bit of après ski fun, we have got you covered.
We've delved into those family-friendly resorts with childcare services, lively après ski spots, budget-friendly hotel options, short transfer times to get you skiing sooner, and all the different accommodation choices from cozy guest houses to luxury apartments and hotels.
Yeah, it is about making your first ski trip as smooth and enjoyable as possible. So we hope you found some valuable insights to help you plan your next snowy adventure.
Oh, yeah. In the next episode, we'll be delving into all things ski lessons and mountain safety. We'll cover the importance of booking the right ski lessons, and what to expect when you turn up to first lessons and when to book them. We'll also explore the differences between group and private lessons to help you choose the best option for your needs. Plus, we'll share essential safety tips for skiing responsibly and choosing the right equipment, what to rent, what to buy, and how to make sure the gear is the perfect fit for you. Don't miss out on the insider tips from the ski instructors on making the most of your lessons. And of course, we'll show you how Crystal Ski Holidays makes it easy to add these extras to your holiday package with Reps, the app that you can use when you're in resort, or talking to people at one of the Crystal hubs. So tune in next time to get fully prepared for your best ski holiday ever. Rob, until next time, Skiing 101, episode 3.
Catch you next time, everybody.
Yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed all of those tips. Let us know. Bye, Dom.
No, talkie-walkie.
I'm pretty sure it's called a walkie-talkie, mate.